Here we're out in the garden this time. I've had a few people request, want to know how I plant my tomatoes of all things. This is mostly for family. If you enjoy it, then great. If not, oh well. You can skip it and watch something else, I guess. You're free to do that. So anyway, I'm out here planting tomatoes. I've got some kind of homegrown little Amish paste tomatoes. They're heirloom tomatoes. I don't know anything about Amish paste tomatoes, but I do know a lot about heirloom tomatoes and how to plant them and get the most out of them. So usually I have tomatoes that end up being 9, sometimes 10 feet tall and producing hundreds of tomatoes. So I'm going to show you how I do that in 4K. All right, here we are. I'm planting everything on under plastic this year. I hate weeding. I absolutely hate weeding. At least to the tune of an entire garden that's 30 foot by 7 feet. So I'm planting it under plastic. The first year under plastic, normally I do under cloth, but cloth is so expensive. So anyway, let me show you the process. Now the tomatoes are going to go in like this, on their side. The reason for that is you can bury this whole stem. The instructions usually say bury 2/3 of the plant, so they're going to go in like that with this little tiny bit sticking up out of the ground there. So that's a one, and the same thing with the other. I usually determine which one's going, and they're going to end up in the ground kind of like that, right next to each other. So let's do that. We'll set them off to the side, and I'm going to put on some gloves because grabbing centipedes hurts, and cleaning dirt out under your fingernails when you work on computers all day also sucks. Anyway, so I'm just in line with the other, which is directly that way. I just take and I'm going to slice it along direction. Along the cloth there, and then across here because I'm Christian, I guess, and you gotta make crosses out of everything. I don't know. So I'll make that cross, fold the cloth under, fold the plastic under so it's out of the way, and this is where they're gonna end up right here, and the roots are gonna go out over this way. So, just a shovel, put it in, and dig your trench with this side over here a little bit deeper. And I'm gonna kill some worms. Gotta break some omelets to make eggs, so that's what happens. That's what's gonna happen. And then I'm gonna take this and just scoop it out and put it off to the side here. We get all this organic material, chicken cloth, old metal staples to hold the cloth down are gonna be in there. I'm just gonna trench this out, try to keep it organized. It needs to be deeper. That's one of the reasons we got roots of this grass trying to get through. Sending off its shoots, but it ain't gonna happen because I got the garden cloth down. I'm just gonna stuff this up underneath here. It's gonna mix with the organic material. That's fine, that's good. I think that will do us, right? Like that. Alright, and now I'm going to take the longest one, kind of measure it out. Looks pretty good. And we're going to pop him out of his container. I just squeeze around the bottom like that. Pull it out, and look at that. That is well done. That is what you want to see. A nice root ball. Not root ball. Root ball syndrome is a thing, and it keeps plants from growing. Root ball syndrome is when the roots are all wrapped around into a big ball. They expand, but they don't go out. So we're gonna kind of gently break this up, just being really soft here, because I want these roots to be able to spread out. And then I'm gonna plop it in the ground, rotate it so it's upright, and just set it off in its bed like that. And then I'm gonna take the other one and do the exact same thing, turn upside down in my hand. I usually will pinch the stem between a finger or a finger and a thumb. In this case, I'm doing a finger and a thumb here. I guess it feels better to do it there, just so you don't dump it all on its face. And then we're gonna turn this guy and look at it some too. Not as many roots, that's fine. Take some of that excess dirt off of there and then orient it the way I want it, like that. I'm going to take the dirt and bury the stems and the roots, bury the whole shebang, stick it all in the ground. If there's big dirt clods, I break them up. If not, I don't worry about rocks. I don't worry about much anything. I make sure that the tops are supported. And there you go. We got one little guy there, one little guy there. And then one other thing that I like to do is provide the ground with some organic material. Helps keep it wet and also encourages some worms to come and move in, and that's what we want. They'll eat off. This is just cherry bark. Helps keep moisture down, keep the plant a little wetter as it's a seedling like that, or a little sprout like this, and then also gives worms something to eat. And then I put the cloth back, not the cloth, keep calling it cloth because that's what we've had. And sometimes we'll stick a staple in it just to kind of keep it there. But you know, it's whatever. The roots are down there, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna put a rock on it instead. And that's really it. That's how I do it. And then the last thing I do is I put the concrete mesh over the top. This is concrete mesh, so get the garbage out of the way. Concrete mesh seems to work the best because of how strong it is. It comes in these flat things, and I just roll it into a sheet and tack it off. But there you go. That's how I do my tomatoes, and yeah, mash down any high spots. And now that's it. That's really it. I water them about 2-3 times a week, and that's it. Love you faces. See you on the next one.